Hello everybody, this is Shane R. Monroe from NVIdia Shield Zone. Welcome to OTA version 2.0 for Shield Android TV. This brings with it the brand new GeForce NOW streaming service, and we're going to take a look right now at some of the new features that come with OTA 2.0, as well as check out the new GeForce NOW, as well as to see how the Shield Hub has been overhauled. So welcome to the OTA 2.0 interface. There's really not much to see visually that's different here. There's a couple of things that you will notice right off the bat if you go digging around in some of the settings. First of all, one of the biggest problems that we had in the last versions of 1.4 and below of the over-the-air updates was Overscan. Now, Overscan is essentially when a digital device such as the Shield is on a television screen, it can often bleed out into the edges of the screen. Now, if I were to be videotaping this, you wouldn't see it. If I were recording this, you wouldn't see it. You'd be seeing what the Shield's rendering. But on many TVs that don't have Overscan compensation or correction, you'll have a situation where you'll be missing a small bit on the top, bottom, and sides of the television. Now, many emulators, like the great Broglia.emu emulators, they actually have compensation for that built into the emulator. So you could shrink the screen down to like 95% and everything would fit. But not all apps have that option, nor did the Shield's operating system. Now you have the ability to adjust for Overscan. Right? So now you can dial these arrows in, making sure that you get as much of the screen as you can see, but not go into the borders outside the television where you can't. This is huge for a lot of people that did not have Overscan settings on their television. So this is a really neat feature. A lot of the other things you're going to see in here are pretty standard. Let's just run down here, quickly show you that we are on software version 2.0. And everything else is pretty much the way you remember seeing it in 1.4. So let's go and take a look at the things that you can definitely see. One of the main changes and one of the main upgrades here deals with home theater. A lot of people were interested in having lossless audio pass-through from the Shield to the receiver. A lot of those things have been granted. 3x2 pull down, right, for movies that are recorded at 24 frames per second. A lot of them don't look quite right if they don't have this 3x2 pull down feature available. Well, now we've got it. We've got it inside of Shield Android TV. There's a lot of actual upgrades for the home video enthusiast. People using Kodi or using Plex. You're going to find a lot of things audio-wise and codec-wise. There's many more new codecs supported. All of those things are things we can't really see here in a video, but you definitely want to go to NVIdiaShieldZone.com, check out the latest news we posted yesterday, and see exactly what new stuff is available, right? Especially if you're the home video enthusiast. So that leads us back to the Shield Hub, the biggest change that you're going to see here in OTA 2.0. What used to be called Grid, you now see as GeForce NOW. Used to see Android games, you now see Shield games. And GameStream is still GameStream. GameStream, of course, is playing videos or playing games off of your own PC on the same local network, in this case, or even remotely, right? You could have the Shield on the go with you. You could go to a hotel. This I've actually done. If you're interested in my experiences with traveling with the Shield Android TV, go to NVIdiaShieldZone.com and take a look. Do a search, I believe, for traveling. One of those two words will bring up that article. And it's interesting to take the Shield with you and to see what sort of challenges you may overcome in a hotel trying to use the Shield Android TV. Shield games, of course, well, let's go in and take a look. We've got the time. We're not going anywhere. So Shield Games now has a new look. It's very, very much like the Android TV layout. You have all the things that you would hope to see. Multi-controller layouts, games by genre. What else do we have in here? Most played, coming soon, new releases, all the things you would want to see. And of course, one of the best parts is you now have voice search. Go up here, Pac-Man. Pac-Man. Got it. All right. So that's an easy way to find what game you're looking for, right? Let's see. What's another good one? Inferno. Right? So I got Inferno 2, one of my favorite games. So that's really nice to have that sort of voice activity to be able to search through here. Everything else is pretty much the way you would expect to see it. And let's go over to GameStream. Not a lot has changed over here. All of your servers that are available to you are displayed along with the games that are available. Right? And I've got quite a number of games set up to be played through GameStream. Right? And I have a backup box that I run a couple of Steam games off of, but for the most part, I run them off my workstation, my main gaming PC. So everything's here pretty much the way. I'm not sure why these aren't coming in, but sometimes the box shots just don't make it over. And you can, of course, this is great, you can search as well, because as you can see, there's quite a bit here. Right? So if I want to see all the Lego games I have available, Lego. So now all the games that I have available on my box, and even tells me which box they're on. Of course, they're all on Shane box, but they're all here and available, right? So voice search is a really neat addition to GameStream. Not all of you, of course, are going to have this many games, but it's nice to have if you do. Most of these things are, again, the same as you've seen before. So GameStream hasn't really seen much of an overhaul. Now, what you're really going to see, what this update really brings, where the real bang for the buck is, all of your questions answered, all of your concerns addressed. Let's talk about GeForce NOW. GeForce NOW replaces Grid, and it adds with it the availability of purchasing first-run games as well as other great high-end AAA games that are hosted on the cloud that stream directly to your Shield Android TV. Now, there's a number of advantages to this. Now, obviously, this is not the first time we've had cloud-based gaming, but this is the first time that we've had cloud-based gaming with the performance and the impact that NVIdia can deliver, right? So let's go pop a look in here. So GeForce NOW, you may notice some very, very high-end games, things that you've seen recently pop up on the PC, such as Witcher 3, Resident Evil 2, Trine 3, of course, is a great game. A lot of people haven't heard of the Trine series. Very good game. And there's other things. They call these buy and play instantly, right? So the GeForce NOW moniker is to say you get all the power of the GeForce platform and you get it right now. Just to give you a quick example, if you were to purchase Witcher 3 on Steam or on, GOG, whatever, and you were to download Witcher 3, so you buy it right now, it has to download, I think Witcher 3 was 37 gigabytes, something absolutely nuts like that. 37 gigabytes, even on my unbelievably fast internet that I pay ungodly amounts of money for, you could be waiting an hour to play that game, right? When you buy now and play instantly, these games, the second you buy them, within 30 seconds, you're playing the game. No kidding. And again, that's because it's all hosted in the cloud. Now, the Kepler-based servers that are sitting out there are all in these great big servers all over the world. In Europe, in the United States, they have different locations, right? So that the lag time between you and these servers are as little as humanly possible. Now, the greatest challenge of pulling off online gaming has to do with the ability to send frames quickly, right? Every frame of the video, 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second, you've got to send that fast enough and in a resolution that the modern video game player, 1080p, what they expect to see. Now, 1080p at 60 frames a second is pushing a buttload of data, right? So imagine that. First of all, you're downloading. You're not watching a movie. You're playing an interactive game. So not only does the video, I mean, okay, so what? You watch Netflix at 1080p all the time. Who cares? That doesn't seem like a big deal, right? Well, how long does it have to sit and buffer? How many times are you interrupted? Or if you pause it, you have to buffer again, right? All of these tricks are available for one direction playback, but this is a two-direction deal. You're not only watching a playback from a remote computer, you are interacting with it in real time, and you have to do it with no perceivable lag, right? So a lot of people say, well, this is just on live, this is just PlayStation Now, or PlayStation, is that what they call it? PlayStation has their own streaming service. A lot of people say, well, this is old technology. This is the same stuff everybody else is doing. The truth behind the matter is nobody is doing it like NVIdia is doing it. 1080p, 60 frames per second, right? That is almost an impossibility, right? So to look at these games and you say, wow, that's actually incredible. There's a 40 gigabyte game sitting on a server somewhere, and I'm playing it on a $199 box, right? My video card costs more than $199 on my PC. And yet I'm going to get to play Resident Evil Revelations 2 in 1080p 60 with all the bells and whistles, all the cool effects turned on, and I'm doing it for $199 plus my broadband connection. That's really impressive. So let's take a look at what we have here, what's available, and what sort of pricing and structure. Now, again, you'll notice that this is laid out in the standard sort of cross, I don't even know what they call this particular layout, this grid layout that's familiar. It's the same as all the other stuff. It looks like Android TV. It functions like Android TV. You got your search at the top, just like Android TV. It's broken down logically by franchises, by genre, by types of games. Everything is laid out exactly the way you would hope. Now, you'll notice that they separate things like the Batmans, the Legos. They really want this product, this GeForce Now, to not just be for the die-hard Witcher 3 kill everything that moves in the Resident Evil zombie apocalypse scenario. They want families to be able to play, right? Lego Marvel Superheroes, right? I happen to know for a fact, and I've played so much Lego Batman 2, I'm almost ashamed to admit it. Lego Batman 2 is absolutely a fantastic game. Whether you're into Lego or whether you're into Batman, it's just a great game. It's a sandbox environment game. So you have these games available to you, as well as kid games. But then when you really need the heavy stuff, you got that too. Indie games, racing games, right? Check this out. Go into the racing category, and there are tons of really nice racing games in here. Grid Autosport, fantastic. Gas Guzzler Extreme, fantastic racing game, right? You've got all of these great racing games available to you, right? First-person shooters. Look at this. These are very solid games. Red Faction Guerrilla. If you like blowing crap up, there is no better game than Red Faction Guerrilla, right? If you're interested in an immersive story with amazing graphics, with the killer action, Metro series is what you want. Homefront, fantastic. Fear 3, fantastic. Borderlands stands on its own. Dead Island was one of my favorite games I played last year, along with Riptide. So you've got something for everybody in the house, and even a family section that gives you some good ideas, even independent games like the Pixel Junk series that would be good for younger audiences, right? So they really want to empower and enable people to play games not just alone, but with their family and with other people, right? So one of the ways they've done this is to give us a multi-controller section that we can go into. These are all games that would feature more than one controller. Now, they don't have to be Shield controllers. If you have an extra Bluetooth controller laying around, maybe used on your Android tablet, you can hook that guy up, and you and your son, you and your wife, you and your best friend can sit around and play a bunch of these games. So we've got some quality games. So let's talk about how GeForce Now is laid out from a cost point of view, and then we're going to take a look at how all these things work. Just bear with me here, right? So we have two categories of games within the GeForce Now environment. There is the membership games, which we call included with membership, right? Included with membership means you're paying your fee. All of these games, these all come free with your membership. I know it's kind of weird when you say you pay a membership and you get these for free, but these games do not require anything else but a basic membership, right? There's over 50 games here. And yes, there's a little bit of filler in here, right? You look at a couple of these and you're going, yeah, I'll never play that. I'm never going to play that. I'm never going to play that, blah, blah, blah. But if you start looking through some of these games, there's some really great titles in here. Ultra Street Fighter 4, great title. Witcher 2, great title. Walking Dead, great title. You may never play Strider. Whatever. Stacking, that's a great indie game. Maybe you never got a chance to play it. Sacred Citadel. Good time. Again, maybe you haven't heard of it, but you're not paying anything extra for it, so why not engage yourself, right? You have all of these games at your disposal for one low price, $7.99 per month. That's the going rate for the GeForce Now membership. Now, as a bonus, because everybody else does it too, you're going to get 3 months of the GeForce Now experience for free. You're going to sign up. You're going to get 3 months for free, and after that, it's $7.99 for over 50 games that you can play anytime you want, all you want, for no additional cost. Look at this. Dead Rising 2, fantastic game. We already talked about Dead Island. Look at this. Both Darksiders games, excellent. Brothers, award-winning indie game. There's so much stuff here. All the Batman games are available. And yeah, you got some oldies but goodies like Alan Wake, but that doesn't mean they're bad games. They're excellent games. Maybe they're a little dated, but hey, you know what? It comes with your membership, and every week, every 2 weeks, they're adding new games to this. Over the course of the last year, the Grid service, which is now GeForce Now, has been adding roughly a game or two every week. So over the course of this last year, we've gotten a really good crop of games. These Red Faction games are fantastic. I know I already said that, but I want to say it again. Toy Box Turbos, that's a really fun racer. There's tons of stuff, more coming all the time. $7.99 a month. It's basically Netflix for video games, right? You get a nice crop of video games, more are coming. So that's what's included with your membership. Now you've got games that you can purchase, AAA type titles that you can buy now and play instantly. So at the time, now remember, I'm looking at a press version of this. So these titles are subject to change. There will probably be more of them by the time this thing goes live, but this is what we got right now. These are the games that are available to buy right now and play right now, including Witcher 3, the Resident Evil 2, the Saints Row. You got the Metro games, which are, listen, I've never even heard of Metro. I got it on a deal one time on Steam, and I loved it. Right, so you have access to some pretty top quality games. They're going to be adding more of these all the time as they're bringing publishers on. So let's take a look at, say, Metro Redux here. So we bring it up, and it's a pretty standard screen. You've got some screenshots that you can take a look at. It's a gorgeous game, amazing graphics, amazing story. You get totally caught up in it. Very immersive. Big fan. All right. You get a nice little write-up. They'll tell you up front what the streaming rate is. Now, not every game is going to clock in at 60 frames per second. That is just something that we're going to have to deal with as this product starts up, right? The more processing time it takes, the more server power they have to have, right? So right now, they've been giving Grid away for a year. They've been giving all these games away essentially for free for a year. So at some point in time, they have to decide, you know, what do we put our money into? I'm assuming that that's what we're talking about. We're talking about a ramping up period, right? This is NVIdia. They can put out 1080p, 60 frames per second. But again, they have to deal with publishers. They have a whole bunch of things they have to worry about. So the best thing you can do is keep yourself informed, right? So let's take a look at this one. Now see, here we go. Last Light Redux streams at 1080p 60. Right? There's no demos available. That's pretty much a publisher's decision. So there's no demos. So you got to kind of make sure you're getting the right thing. Now, you come over to NVIDIA Shield Zone, go visit our YouTube channel. We're going to be looking at a lot of these purchased games. So you'll have an opportunity to see exactly what it looks like to play these games on the grid on a really high quality bandwidth connection. Right? So all you need to do is just be aware. right? Let's take a look here. 1080p 60, good to go. Right, Saints Row 4. What do we got here? Oops, preparing for checkout. So let's say I was going to buy this game. I don't know if this is all wired up yet, being, again, this is an early release. Probably not. They pre-purchased a few items for us to show you. I'm going to say that that's probably not working. Okay, so here's another one that's 1080p 30, right? So you really need to keep an eye on that. Hey, listen. If you're coming from Xbox One or you're coming from PS4, you're probably used to 30 frames per second, right? If you're a diehard PC gamer, though, you might want to take a look and make sure that you're well informed. See, here's 1080p 30. Some people have no problem with 30 frames per second. Some people do. So, hey, they're not hiding it from you. They're giving it to you in black and white so you can make an informed decision. Revelations 2, 1080p 60. We're going to look at that game in a minute. What else do we have here? Trine 3. So here's an example of a great game. This is, by the way, the Trine series is a great game. I don't know why people have such a problem with it, and there's some sort of stigma. But you got online, multiplayer, co-op, local. There's all sorts of great stuff. Trine 2 is amazing. This runs at 1080p 30, but we're going to play this in a few minutes, and it looks fantastic. So who cares if it's in 30? As long as it looks good, it plays good. And, of course, we have Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Now, this also streams at 1080p 30, but let's focus on something that's a little more important here. This includes a digital key for PC download. Notice it's right there, green letters, front and center. So when you buy Witcher 3 on GeForce Now, you're not just getting the streaming copy you can play from anywhere, anytime you want, but you're also going to get the PC download, right? So let's say you've got a pretty well-equipped PC sitting in the back room, right? In your gaming room, your man cave, but you'd like to throw down some Witcher 3 action up here on the big screen, right? Well, you can stream it, right? Or you can, you can stream it from the cloud via NVIdia, or maybe you have a really crappy local network, man. I mean, I know a lot of people that have like amazing bandwidth coming into their house, but their network is absolute crap. They've got old cables thrown, their hubs are, 10, 100 hubs, and while they may have a great PC in the back, streaming it to something like the Shield Android TV just wouldn't be a good solution, right? So they're making accommodations for everybody. Whether you have no PC in your house and you want to play first-run PC games like Witcher 3, or if you've got a fantastic PC in the house and you don't mind streaming off of that, you're going to get the key that you can play it either way you want. Now, the key is not guaranteed on every single game. However, they have assured me that it will always be clearly marked. And unfortunately, in this case, it's a GOG key, a GOG.com key. Okay, listen. That's a whole other controversy altogether. I like Steam. I'm not a big GOG fan, but Witcher 3 is made by the team that owns GOG, so obviously they're going to want to support their own digital locker. As time moves on, they're going to be issuing us Origin keys. They're going to be issuing us Uplay keys. That's one of those things we're just going to have to deal with, right? And that's not something you really have a choice on, right? If you're going to want to play the new Star Wars Battlefront game that's coming out, and it appears up here and you purchase it, you're going to get a key for Origin, right? That's Electronic Arts' digital locker. There's no way you're going to get that on Steam anyway. Just so happens The Witcher 3 is available on both GOG and Steam. So it would have been nicer to have a Steam key, but the publisher holds all the cards. NVIDIA's hands are often tied in things like this, right? So in this case, we get the key. So that's huge. So you're really kind of getting 2 copies of the game for one price. Now, what you're going to have to deal with as well, let's go down to, let's see, buy and play instantly. So if we look at some of the pricing here, these games are commensurate directly with Steam prices. If you go up to Steam right now and you look at these prices, they're exactly the same as Steam. PC gamers are probably going to know that there are third-party digital lockers such as Green Man Gaming and things like that. Listen, NVIDIA is not going to be able to help you out. NVIDIA is going to have to charge the same price as what Steam charges. So if you're looking to find steep discounts, if you're looking for those bargain bin Steam sales. I don't know if NVIdia is going to get around to being able to do that or not, right? The publishers set the price, not NVIdia. So, but again, you have to understand too that a lot of these games are going to have keys with them. So you're going to get 2 different copies of the game. All right, so we've had an opportunity to look through here. Oh, here's one thing I really did want to show you, because being a parent of an 8-year-old, I don't necessarily want my kid running around playing Witcher 3. So here we go. We have an opportunity to filter down what is allowed to be seen and played using parental controls. So in my case, I probably want to look at every 110, right? So I can actually hide the games that are restricted. So when my son hops on here and starts looking around, he won't even see. Well, let's take a look here. Let's set this up here. We're going to set a pin of all zeros. That's fine. All zeros. All right, so now it's locked up. So let's take a look and see what we have now. Let's jump out just to make sure, jump back in. And now you can see we have quite a different selection of games here. Witcher 3 is nowhere to be seen. There's no Saints Row, lots of Lego. All that good stuff is in here, but it doesn't look like there's anything intentionally being hidden, right? And of course, if they want to come in, you can see that it's locked down to everybody 10. Enter your PIN, and let's move it up to, say, Teen 13, right? Now we'll see a slightly different selection of games. The Batman games flip on, right? Maybe some of, most of it's the same sort of stuff. But you get the idea. So you can do some good parental controls. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and turn the content on. Restricted games are now no longer hidden. Let's say everybody 10, right? So that'll hide a lot of games. Okay, so now the games are all here again, including Witcher. But you'll notice there's now a lock on it. You can't do anything until you have the pin, right? And this is kind of nice. You can actually unlock it for a certain period of time, like for, say, 30 minutes, right? So you start playing Witcher, and you get caught up in the game. You're late for work. You jump out of the game. You don't go back to relock the games down. You come home and find your kid maybe having a little bit of fun with Yennefer and Triss in the hot tub, right? So that's really nice to have that sort of a feature available. Offering feedback to NVIdia, simple about, check for updates, the standard sort of thing. Let's go ahead and get rid of this pin. I definitely do not need restriction. Let's just allow all content. All right, so now we're back to the way we were. All right, so let's take a look around here. So let's grab something that is included with membership game. We'll just take a quick peek so you can just see how this works for some of these free eating games or buffet games that you get with your $7.99 membership. I'm a big fan of Dead Rising 2. I like all the Dead Rising games. I'm trying to think, maybe I should pick something a little less gory. I want this to be somewhat family friendly. Where's that Lego Batman 2 at? That's a great game. All right, so there's nothing to buy. There's nothing else to do other than hit play. All right, so right now it's reaching out and fetching a connection out to one of NVIDIA's servers. And I will actually show you how you get connected to these servers here in just a minute. I'm already kind of pre-set up, but since we've already started launching the game. So I'm assuming right now somewhere on the other side of the circuit, somewhere probably in Southern California or New Mexico or wherever U.S. Southwest servers are located, it's building me a session to play Lego Batman. Now again, right, this is going to end up being about a 30-second ordeal to launch the game. But I didn't have to install anything. I didn't have to update DirectX. I didn't have to install Visual C runtimes. I didn't have to do anything. All I had to do was just press launch. All right, I'm going to turn up the sound a little bit. And we had a little hiccup in there, but nothing too bad. You see, it looks great. I mean, you'd be very hard-pressed not to know you were playing on a console. Let's skip out of here. Let's get to some meat. This is what you guys really want to see. You don't want to see this intro crap. All right, let's go to options and make sure I've got everything turned up properly. So you're seeing we're running at 1080p. We have vertical sync off, aspect ratio. Our texture quality is high. That's all we really have to work with. All right, cool. And let's see. Do I have a game in progress here? No. All right, so let's go ahead and start a new game real quick. As you can see, it looks fantastic.
Fans of billionaire industrialists are in for a treat tonight as frontrunners Bruce Wayne and Lex Luthor face off at the annual
Now remember, you're watching this on YouTube in a 30 frames per second scenario, so this isn't perfectly representative of what you're going to see. But I assure you there's no camera tricks, there's no speed ups, there's nothing being done here other than just standard video conversion up to YouTube. Can I skip through this stuff? They're just not going to let us get through this, are they? And again, I guarantee you, I've played this on a console, I've played this on a PC, I played this on, you know, $1,000 PC, and this is exactly the way it looks on there. It's exactly the way it plays on there. This is great. I'm just streaming this onto a $200 box.
Lex, I'm surprised you took time away from your presidential campaign and came all the way to Gotham City.
The green lipstick's a huge mistake, by the way.
As a nominee, it's my pleasure and privilege to be here. Especially if you win.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. This year's Man of the Year award goes to...
Can I just not get through this?
Bruce Wayne.
You know how many times I've seen this intro?
Next year, buddy.
These Lego games are so well done. I mean, they got it all down to a formula now. It's fantastic. But this Lego Batman 2 is amazing. It turns into like a full sandbox game. It's great. And one of the best parts of this Lego Batman 2, for those of you who are like over the age of 30, it uses the original, I believe it's Alexander Courage's theme from the 80s Superman movies, right? It's amazing. You don't see Superman for quite a while, so I don't have a save game to help you out. Come on, can we get through this? The visitors don't, the watchers don't want to see this. Come on, let's get some game here. Doesn't it look good? I mean, look at, you got all the smoke effects, you got everything. There's no compromise here.
And why stop now?
Note to self, next time we do one of these demos, let's have a save game ready.
Standing ovation? Did not expect that, but I'll take it. And also everything else.
Riddle me this. What's green and found in your wallet? Money. No, not anymore.
Sorry to rain on your parade, my dear. Thanks so much.
No thanks. I don't want to get joy buzzed.
Oh, don't worry. I didn't want to shake hands. I want your watch. Nice running into you. Let's do it again sometime.
Oh, we will.
Listen, I don't blame you guys if you're fast forwarding this to get to the game. I'm surprised you're still here.
I'm speechless. Who am I kidding? When am I ever speechless? And what a thrill to finally see myself on the big screen. Look at that face. It's like, what's he gonna say? What's going to come out of that mouth of his?
It's the Batman.
Run up your face, Joker.
You're not sorry. You're not sorry at all. Come and get me.
All right, we're finally into the game now. Took long enough. So I'm going to just literally obliterate this entire place. I'm going to beat up the frickin' Joker's henchmen. All right, you've played Lego games before, right? So I wanted you guys to see exactly what this looked like. And again, this is just, this is a 2-player game, right? I could get my kid in here, whatever. I could get my friends in to play.
You stay away from Mr. J.
Mr. J. You know how many frickin' Harlequins there were at Comic-Con this year? People who should have no business wearing a Harlequin outfit were wearing Harlequin outfits. I mean, you guys have seen pictures of me. I'm not going to run around wearing mesh underwear, I'll tell you that. Alright. Alright, what am I doing here? Getting caught up in the game. Get over here. Alright, change to Robin, let him beat some booty. Oops, Robin just got his butt kicked. Alright, you get the idea. You got some gameplay, you saw me scrolling around, there's no tearing, there's no problems, it's fantastic. Even exit the windows. Alright, so our session's done, a little save action, and we're back to GeForce Now. Alright, so that's just an example of one of the membership games, right? $7.99 a month after your first 3 months are free. So now it's time for us to take a look at the pay games, the one that you're putting out the hard cash for. Let's start off with Trine 3. This is a really beautiful game. I don't think Trine nearly gets the due it deserves, to be honest with you. I think the Trine games are amazing. They're amazing cooperative, like adventure platformer puzzle solvers. I'm really a huge fan. And quite frankly, I don't own Trine 3 yet. So, you know, kind of waiting for a sale, whatever. But now I've got access to it, so now I get a chance to play. Now, see, these are no maintenance. This is fantastic. Let me point something out here. So, I don't have to maintain updates. I don't have to maintain a Steam client. I don't have to maintain a PC. I don't have to update GeForce drivers. I don't have to update Windows. I don't have to worry. This is worry-free gaming, right? You think about it, it's like, oh, well, I don't really own it. It's in the cloud, blah, blah, blah. The point is there is a benefit to that. There's no maintenance. If there's an update to this game, you don't have to install it. You don't have to download it, right? You don't have to do any of that stuff. It's just there. This one I do have a save game for.
Who could save the day? Why, of course, the 3 heroes of our story, Amadeus, Pontius, and Zoya.
Now, I would like to point out that this is 1080p 30. And as you can see, the game looks incredible.
Hung in balance because of their actions.
Right, I'm trying to remember. I remember what that was for. So the purpose of this is it's sort of an adventure game. You notice there's a lot more 3D to it, right? In the Trine 2, there was like this much depth to each level. Now you can literally like drag yourself all the way back. There's stuff hidden all over the place. So what we need to do is we need to get ourselves up there. I'm trying to remember what to do. So part of this is puzzle solving, right? Let me see here. There we go. There we go. Got that. Send me up here. Pick up the rest of these gems. I was going to say I could probably float over, but I messed that up. This game looks beautiful. I mean, you wouldn't even really know you're in 30 frames per second. It's just so smooth and silky. I just messed that up again. Alright, dang it. Let's say I was a great game player. Alright, let's do this one more time. Just let me have it. There we go. I'm a completionist. I gotta have it. Alright, so let's continue. So let's probably break that down. Alright, let's see here. Oops. You can fall off the edges, though, so you got to be careful. All right, so I'm having a little network congestion. This does happen. But you'll notice that when there is a network problem or there is something that needs your attention, it popped up there. That was kind of nice to have that actually happen. I don't remember what I'm supposed to do to get out of here. Beat the crap out of everything. That's my answer to everything. If it moves, we kill it. Let's try over here. Oh, there we go. The 3D, the full depth of the game is still new to me, so... I think I'm going the backwards way. I think we're supposed to keep going to the right. But, I mean, look at this. This is a fantastic looking game. You can't tell that you're not. Uh-oh, I think I'm dead. Am I dead? Yeah. So that's fantastic. Again, you know, 1080p 30 doesn't mean it sucks. All right. Let's go ahead and exit out of here. You get the idea. Game will be saved, right? So I can come back to this and figure it out another time. Right? So that's an example of a pretty new game. Let's take a look at Resident Evil Revelations 2. Now, I'm a huge Revelations fan. I played a ton of it on 3DS. I loved it. I think it was amazing on the 3DS. So let's take a look at this. Now, again, this is 1080p 60, so we should definitely expect this to not only look great, but play great and be super silky smooth. So let's just say we bought it just a few moments ago, and now we bought it, we play it instantly, right? Look at that. We're ready to go. Look at that. Full smoke effects. All right. Resident Evil. Now you see I'm starting to have a little network congestion problem up there, which is really unusual because I have very good internet. I don't know what the network connection crap is. I've seen that before. All right, so let's take a look here. Let's go to just campaign. Starting to run a little short on time here, longer than I wanted to run. So let's just continue. Let's see if I can skip this just in the interest of time. No. Oh, there we go. Skip it. All right, let's get to the actual part where we run around and do stuff.
I didn't do anything.
Now look at that. Nice and smooth. Looks great, right? All the lighting is there. The lighting effects look fantastic. Look at the smoke and the lighting.
Moira, are you okay? Did they hurt you?
You'd have to have a $200 video card, basically, to run this game. $150, $200 video card on a PC. All right. So you can't tell this is being streamed. You wouldn't even know.
What did we do?
It looks great.
I wish I could tell you.
Come on. A hard time.
This is so messed up. What do you think this place was?
Freaky crap. Don't worry, I'm not going to get anything too gory for those of you who might be worried. This is a safe for work piece. But it looks great, right? Yeah. Any problems here? Not at all. Looks fantastic. I don't want to get too far here and get something scary. You know, I don't want to startle the kiddies. Yeah, there comes the scary music. You know something's coming. All right, so let's quit. So you get an idea. All right, I know what you're all waiting for. You're all waiting to see Witcher. And yes, I'm going to play Witcher for you. Now, before we start playing Witcher, let's talk about a couple of things. First of all, I'm on a press pass, all right? This is not, at this moment of time of recording, this is not public. This has been allotted to me to get an early look, right? Again, they're going to ramp up infrastructure as financial accommodations allow, right? So just because this is 1080p 30 doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. It doesn't mean that it's not going to get better over time. If I'm sounding apologetic, maybe I am just a little bit. The point is if you're playing Witcher 3 on an Xbox One or a PS4, you're not even getting this quality, right? So you're getting next-gen console quality or better, right? I put a lot of time into Witcher 3. I've been playing Witcher 3 on essentially a $500 video card with a tricked-out computer. So my expectations are very, very high. And again, if you were downloading this, it's a 2-hour download, 3-hour download, depending on your bandwidth. You're getting almost instant on here. Granted, there's a little bit of setup time, but it's not too bad. Now, Witcher 3, as far as I'm concerned, is Game of the Year 2015, and I think a lot of people would agree with me. It is easily. I've put about 146 hours, I think, into Witcher 3 so far. So if anybody knows Witcher, it's me. So I've had a lot of time running around the world, and I do believe that there's nothing. Oh, see, now this does happen, right? These are the sorts of things that you can't deny. There are going to be times when you may have issues, right? Again, they are ramping up for release in 2 days. So they're constantly going to be tweaking stuff. I must expect that we're going to have some occasional issues while they're probably working on the system. I'm recording this in the middle of the night. Yeah, so little things like that are bound to happen. I expect when you're paying top dollar and it's not some press kit that the infrastructure is going to be probably better maintained. Who the hell knows what server I'm even on right now? So keep all this in mind. So far, we're having pretty good luck, right? I had a little network congestion. We just had a disconnect. You know, what do you want? And I'm leaving it in the video. Now, I want to point out, I could have trimmed that out of the video, right? I could have. This is all a single shot recording. I'm not trimming out anything. Even that long Joker intro for Batman, I don't want to cut anything out because I don't want you guys thinking that there's any trickery afoot. You come to NVIdiaShieldZone.com for the straight skinny, and I'm going to give it to you. All right, let's take another look here. All right, here we go. Now we're in business. And there's Geralt. He's our guy. So let's check this out. Now, this is the very beginning of the game, so it is important to note that if you own this game already somewhere else, like I own it on Steam, you're obviously not going to be able to get to your save games and things of that nature. You got what you got, right? So you're going to have to start over again. So we're going to take a peek around here. We're getting all of our silly tutorial things. I forgot to turn them off. There's our guy. Use your Witcher senses to find the key to the bedroom door, right? So I'm going to use my special Witcher senses. And I'm going to take a look at that. Unlock the doors, walk up to them, and press A. That seems easy enough. Is this the door? All right. Now remember, we're sort of in tutorial mode, so I don't have a lot of free range motion right now. I've kind of got to do what they tell me.
Old Witcher's fast asleep. Ciri's disappeared somewhere, of course.
These I could probably skip.
Just a theory.
All right, let's move along here so we can actually get to see something to see.
These lists.
Damn it.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Let's get to where we're actually running around doing something. Yeah, she's a great kid. You've raised her good, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we've spoiled her, so you have a little interaction here.
We've spoiled.
Been saying that true.
Fine.
Yeah. Come on.
I'll see.
Let's move along here.
You got work to...
Maybe for a witcher.
Think drowners or striggers will go eat... Though in your
Now, move along.
Sorry's not good enough. You're gonna read Ghouls and Al-Ghouls in its entirety, appendices included.
No, please. I'd rather clean the steak.
End of discussion. Come on.
Shall we run the walls?
Of course. Is a Witcher school or an...
To the bottom.
Maybe if you fall.
Alright, press A to go up ladders. So they're giving you the full tutorial here. As you can see, this looks just, I mean, if I'm telling you, listen, right now, go up to YouTube right now and climb over obstacles. Go up to YouTube right now, pull videos for Xbox One and PS4, and you tell me this game doesn't look just as good as what you're playing up there on those consoles, right? I can't get up here. What am I doing? I'm used to playing with a 360 controller on the PC, so I'm still kind of getting used to the throw here.
Breathing through your mouth in rhythm with your steps.
Yeah. I haven't adjusted any of the controls or sensitivity to my needs either. Let's hop myself down there. Whoop. Let's go. Next, the kid's gonna beat me.
Run into trouble. Should I turn back and help?
Yeah, I'm gonna run you into trouble, girly.
I win.
Oops! Oh, I killed his... sorry.
Show you yet. Just need to grow a bit.
Alright. So you get the idea, right? I could sit here all day and play Witcher 3. I mean, I put 146 hours into it.
To the bottom.
Maybe if you fall.
So listen, you're playing this on a $199 box. This is absolutely nuts. It's crazy. It's awesome. Witcher 3 is like game of the year, man. I'm telling you. This game really sets some serious standards. I'm going to have the same problem I did before. Get up there.
What did I tell you about breathing through your mouth in rhythm with your steps?
All right, enough breathing with the rhythm of my steps. All right, so there you go. So now we've had a look at everything. All right, folks, so there you have it. We've taken a look at everything pretty much that's new with OTA that you can actually see. By the time you're watching this video, the news will have already broke and you'll know pretty much all of it. Now you've gotten to see it firsthand for yourself. The OTA is probably going out even as you're watching this video. It'll probably be out sometime during the day. European markets now have access to the Shield Android TV as well as some Asian markets. GeForce NOW is available all over the world, not just in the United States. And hey, 3 months for free. What are you going to do? You're going to enjoy 3 months of great, fantastic streaming video games. And, right? So, yeah, not really much else to say. Listen, fantastic device. I really think that I'm a huge fan, obviously, or I wouldn't be putting hours upon hours of time into showing you guys these videos and playing games and recording them and doing all this work for you. I have a real strong belief in the Shield platform. This is just we've waited a long time for GeForce NOW to really spring up. We didn't know what it's going to be called that, but now we do. We're ready to move forward. I'm very excited. I'm really excited to see publishers jumping on board with this. I'm very excited to see NVIdia stomp all over Apple TV because I think this is a considerably better product. And that's before we get into things like Plex or Kodi. Right, these are, the great YouTube integration. All the things, I'm only talking about sort of the new stuff. That's not even all the original stuff that the Shield Android TV did. So I'm very, very excited to be a part of this Android TV release. I'm glad you're here with us at NVIDIA Shield Zone. Always come to us for the latest news, the latest good stuff, the latest tutorials. We're going to help you out. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is Shane R. Monroe with the NVIDIA Shield Zone. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.